Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Full of myself. Sorry. Welcome back. It's Thursday, everybody. That means Crypto After Dark. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I got the red lights on behind me. Why? Well, the market's been red. So I thought it was only right that we do a red market, red light, right? Well, I'll try to match the light with the market conditions behind me moving forward. Why? Because it's fun and I like to goof. We can do different colors too, right? We can do rainbow colors for you LGBT people out there. We can do what the hell ever. We're inclusive here up in this place. We've had some great progressions along on the charts. I want to talk about some stuff tonight. We'll go through a whole bunch of other coins as well. First things first, let's hit the chart, shall we? If you haven't done so, please go hit like. It's free. It costs nothing to hit the like button. Absolutely free dollars to hit the like button. Right there it is. Bam. When you hit like, hit the subscribe button. We're getting close to 10,000, but we aren't there yet. All right. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss a live stream every single time we do them. All right. I want you to see everything we've got and not miss it. First, let's talk about a majority of what's going on here. And what I see kind of playing out little by little. I've got Bitcoin pulled up on the screen for a couple of reasons. I want to go through some stuff step by step here, and we'll see what we come up with, okay? So first thing, I've got this in linear mode because I don't have many candles on the screen. Normally, I would be in logarithmic mode. Logarithmic mode is here. And as you see, it's not much different from what I'm doing now, okay? The fibs are a little different, but that's about it. Wanted to show you this in linear mode because I think some stuff can hold water on linear mode, especially when you only have a few candles on the screen like I've got now. All right. That's clearly a failure of the trend line. We talk about this all the time. There's a very easy way to do technical analysis and a very easy way to trade. Okay. When we are in a bull market and we have bullish conditions, which we do not have yet. When we're in a bull market and we have bullish conditions, we look for trend breaks. And for a bull market, we would be in an uptrend. Everything would be moving up north. All right. Right now, everything's kind of going sideways and down. That should tell you we're not in a bull market. We are close to a bull market. But when we have those, we have trend breaks. And as you see here on the screen, I have a trend line drawn showing you a trend of all the candles failing to break that trend, getting stuck in the mud, not wanting to break the hump, so to speak. So I would love to see a break of trend or what's called a break of structure. I would love to see this thing crack over this trend line anywhere over here. Come on over that trend line and show me that you're ready to rock and roll and you want to play ball and we're ready to move up. That hadn't happened yet. Simple as that. Sorry. Wish it had, but it just hasn't happened. There's progress. Yes, we were all the way down here just a couple of days ago, right? After the stream last week, we had this move back up, which was great. And then we had a live stream and everything kind of looked like it may move up some more, and it did, short term. Things just ran to the trend line. A lot of this stuff failed and rolled over. There's plenty of other stuff in the way as well. I talk a lot about moving averages, and I use the moving averages because they work very well and are kind of a quick little cheat sheet to show you what's going on. It may look a little messy at first, but you get used to them after you use them for a bit. You start to learn how these moving averages work. All right, 50 moving average in yellow, 100 moving average in blue, 200 moving average in red. All right, these are important. These are daily moving averages. I'm on a daily chart right up here, daily. And these are moving averages of the day. After so many days added up, these lines form. These are standard colors. I didn't change them any. So these show us resistance and support. As you see, we hit resistance and failed. A very simple and basic strategy that many TA people all across the globe will use is breaking and holding the 50-day moving average for a buy signal and shorting it when it goes back under and closes under that line again. Back and forth using the 50-day moving average. We've kind of shown before the data on here, what can happen when something breaks the 50 and runs. That's typically in a bull market, not a bear market. And we know right now we don't have a bull market. We're kind of sideways or down. So I see this thing button into resistance. But as the thumbnail stated, there's a lot of this stuff that's sitting on support. I want to talk about how to find support, how we see it, and how it may form out. I'm not going to use Bitcoin as an example. I'm going to go to some altcoins here and show you some different ones that I think are sitting on support and show you historically what happens when stuff sits on support for a good long while. I'll start with everybody's favorite, XRP. Yes. Just jumping right out there in the thick of it. So I'm going to go to weekly. I always start on, I'll tell you what, we'll do monthly. Always start on a high time frame. And for this, we need to be in log mode. So I just click the L down here for log mode. All right. Let's go to a clean chart. Find a nice clean chart here. Still not clean, but whatever. What about Poloniex? We'll just use that. Poloniex is going to have odd wicks. So I want you to kind of ignore the wicks. But we'll use this chart. See this I'm saying, these wicks are stupid. Don't pay attention to the wicks. What I want you to see is support and resistance is crucial. We use support and resistance as our first line of, hey, yes, or hey, no. All right. I want to see candle closings. I like using XRP for this because you can see it clearly here. All right. Candle closings and marking the candle bodies shows us support and resistance. If we are above a line, we have support. If we are below a line, we have resistance. That's right. So I want to mark some simple lines right off the bat, and I'm going to use candle bodies where they close and open as where I mark my lines, not wicks, candle bodies. All right, right along this line, you see lots of candle bodies opening and closing, opening and closing, opening and closing, and it just so happens that a lot of wicks match up. See that? I'm not being perfect with this. I'm just getting close. We don't have to be laser focused close with this. This is not trading Forex, okay? We just get close, right? As you see, overall, back from 2014 to 2017, XRP held the line here, didn't it? It's pretty impressive, isn't it? Yes, it had moments when it fell under, but they didn't last long. In fact, that was in November, and we're coming up on November. So move forward in time. Similar story. I see lots of candles closing and opening right around through the same level through here. You see that? Excellent. Very simple to see. I will mark that line. You don't got to be perfect. Just get close. And as you see, this is pretty, I'll split the difference. This is pretty darn close to all of them. And in fact, you could go up a little higher if you wanted, whatever. It's probably more than one line there. You could probably draw 2 lines or even 3 lines. I'm just showing you the basic here. As you see, we kind of held the line the entire time. Cool? Right. Move on up even more. As we go in a little higher, here we go again. Same story. Right along here, a lot of candle bodies opening and closing, and we are well above the price. Excellent. So we have what we call a major support because this is a high time frame. This is a major support zone. All right. Very basic. It's not very hard to chart. It really isn't. People just make tons of excuses for why they can't do it. We don't like doing that here. Excuses are for the lazy, and we don't make excuses. We just double it up and do better next time. Resistance works the same way as support. I've drawn support lines for you, so now I'll draw some resistance lines for you. Just as the same way support works, resistance works in the opposite direction, all right? It's going to hold up progress instead of holding up support. It's going to hold up progress. So as you see right along here, we had resistance. This thing kind of fell under for a little bit before it got back over it, didn't it? We had a resistance line up here. Oh, look, exactly where this thing stopped back during the 2020 to 2022 bull run. Right at resistance. Right? You can draw these in very detailed fashions if you like. Not the point. I just wanted you to understand a little bit about support and a little bit about resistance here and how we can use it to our advantage. All right? So that's on a monthly chart. Every time you switch down to a lower time frame, you kind of want to draw some general lines. Sometimes you'll notice that monthly, weekly, and daily all kind of line up together. And when you have that, that's what we call confluence. All right? That means that line is probably important when all 3 time frames kind of line up together. All right? If they don't, well, it's not quite as much as confluence as you had before. Very simple, very basic, no reason to overthink it too much. Now, I want to show you some other alts here. All right? If I dive to something like what I used on the thumbnail, which was Doge. I want you to look at the very systematic thing this is done over the time. Back here is really choppy. We could use this, but I want you to look at how ugly them candles are. They're very odd. Yeah, I could probably find better data somewhere, but that's not the point. What I want you to see is back during the last bull run, this thing absolutely held the line and waited and waited and waited. And then bam, finally broke trend and took off. Very cool, right? Look what it's doing again. I didn't draw a line this time. I drew a box. It's sitting right there just like it did last time, doing nearly the exact same thing as it did last time. Is it the absolute perfect time to buy? Well, I don't have any confluence of that, so maybe not. However, in general, you want to buy support and sell resistance, especially if it's high time frame support. You want to buy that support because there's a better probability of it going up than there is of it going down, especially when you know the other conditions that we have, like we're coming up on the end of the year and getting ready to go into a halvening bull cycle, which happens every 4 years for crypto, and we'll only have so much bull market here. Typically, before that happens, we have some sort of run up preceding that halvening. Then we have some sort of flattening or down period, followed by a parabolic bull run. It's happened 4 times before already. So one thinks it wouldn't happen again would be a bit foolish. It's literally 4 for 4. So many coins look like this. I'm only showing you Doge for this example. I could switch to SHIB. Same thing. It looks like Doge from back in the day. All right. Doesn't matter if I switch to, how about a Solana is a good one. Let me pull up Solana here. I was looking at this today and going, gosh, this has got a really good look. And I can't find Solana over here. I could just type it in, but that's way too much work. All right, let me switch to, that's not the whole Solana chart. Should have just typed it in to begin with. There we go. Similar story here. Solana, you can see my DCA lines that I've already made here. I like the buy pressure that I'm seeing from these wicks. That's why, part of the reason why I went ahead and bought. Plus, I like the fact that it's staying above this trend line and holding the line. If it fails this line, I will bail. But same story here. All these candles trying to hold the line here and trying not to fail. I like the buy pressure that I see. I like the fact that it's holding support. And while it may not be the perfect time to buy, I feel like it's a better time to buy than it is to wait. Hence why I went ahead and started buying. I didn't want to take the risk of losing because I feel like the upside is a little greater than the downside at this moment, based on support and resistance. Nothing else. There's a probability, however, that some of these fail. Look at Link. Link has been sitting here doing nothing, taking forever. If this fails, there is nothing to catch it. It's going to fall far. AVAX is an even better example of that. Let me pull up the entire AVAX chart. This one hurts your feelings to look at, honestly. Oh, all right, here we go. Take these fibs off so you can just see it a little bit more clear. Last line of support. I wrote it right there on the line. Last line of support. Why did I do that? Because that's the last place any candles were opening and closing. It's actually a little higher than that, wasn't it? Yeah. So nothing to stop it. No support in this area, I wrote. And I'll drop it to weekly so it's a little easier to see here. There you go. You can kind of see that under the line there, on top of the line here, on top of the line here. You touch the line here, and now you have failed said line. There's nothing to stop this thing from falling. There's no support to catch it. Do you see that? On the weekly time frame, there's no support here to catch it. There's nothing. It's empty. It's empty. So what's going to stop it from falling all the way down to $5 or even $4, even $3? The answer is not much. One has to hope that it stops on its own. There's no guarantee here this thing could fall farther. We saw this coming over a year ago and talked about this on these very same live streams. People doubted me, started shit talking me, saying, oh, that'll never happen. $10 AVAX maybe, but $5 AVAX, Keith, that's clickbait. Watch and see what happens. All right. That's a very basic support and resistance lesson for everyone. Now, trend lines work similarly. Some people call those diagonal resistance lines or diagonal support lines. I want you to use them at your own behest. We talk about this stuff nonstop over in our Discord. WAP.com/786. You see it on the screen right there. It's very easy to use. WAP.com/team786. Come check us out. It's a whopping $10 a month. We will be putting a cap on the Discord. Once we have a cap on the Discord, nobody else will be allowed in. And if you don't like it, too bad. We tried our best to get you on board. $10 was just so much money that you couldn't do it. It was just too heartbreaking to break down and spend a whole $10 to be around smart people who help you make better decisions and help you make more money and exponential gains rather than just some gains. For $10, doesn't feel like too much of a commitment to me. What do I know? So let's go say hey to everybody, and then we'll get through all these other coins. If you haven't done so, please hit like. There are 40 people on, 20 people if hit like. 40 people with 40 likes would be amazing. It's free to hit like. It won't hurt anybody. Just hit like real quick, man. Come on. Not asking a lot. When Mullet says support fails, more down to come. When Mullet is a very smart guy. Probably should listen to what he says. He sees AVAX fail. He sees many fail. He knows what he's talking about. He knows his shit. Jim Monroe says hello. Hope you've had a better day. Yeah, we're not going to talk about yesterday or the day before. Cycling Cotton, what's up, brother? He said number 3 like. Let's go. Dab says TA with KL, an island of logic and a sea of insanity. Bro, that's pretty damn deep. Looking like a gravestone doji on the weekly. Some of these are throwing gravestones. I would agree. What's up, Jeremy? Cousin? Dreamer, he says, hey, Professor, what's up, brother? Welcome, everyone, he says. Absolutely. Jag, what's up? Ariana, how are you? Smash the like and share to your social media. Let the world know what we do here and how well we do it. That's a damn fine way of saying it, sir. Bullish CEO, what's up, brother? Dreamer says, don't let those chads get to you. I'm not going to mention that asset ever again on this YouTube channel. I have purchased some of it. I will sell it. And I will trade it as just like any other coin. I will never mention that thing on social media ever again. That community is an absolute trash can of people who are upside down their assets and refuse to admit it. And I'm not going to be a part of it. If you thought, all right, so XRP probably has they're not the most toxic. They're not the most toxic. They're just kind of delusional. But they're not the most toxic. The most toxic community is the scam community first, because no, my scam is better than everybody else's scam. Second behind that other asset I'm talking about, and I refuse to mention it. Toxic community. There's a difference between being delusional and being toxic. Total difference, all right? What's up, Nick? He said, what's an uptrend? I don't know, bro. Raging Beagle, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Brian W., what's up? All no bourbon vodka only for me. I'm about to crack open the bourbon right here in a second. Popping the receding balance of my bank account, right? Come one, come all to the assassin's ball. Like an up dog, bro. Saprice says ICP. We can look at ICP. We sure can. Let's see. I'm not going to say it, Brian. No whammies, bro. That's awesome. Nick says WAP. Rope-a-dope. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Ron Wilson, Lunatic Prophet. The Cryptic Wolf. Good to see you, brother. What's your thoughts on XDC and Casper? XDC and Casper. CSPR. First, I want to get into these other ones people have asked for. Someone asked me for Safe Haven. So let's have a look at Safe Haven first. All right. So, it threw a really nice daily candle the other day, but I want you to look at this weekly really nastiness that's coming out right here. I don't like that. I thought this thing broke trend based on that. It looks like maybe these wicks do count, and I wasn't correct on that. It's a tough call, though. I think maybe it's just gnarly right now. I have this on my list to buy because it has crazy good gains in it, and it had this really sharp move up at the beginning of the year. A lot of these charts with this very sharp move up at the beginning of the year show me that the volatility is there for this thing to move a lot. Also, the market cap kind of needs to be right. You kind of need to have a mid to low market cap to do those stupid exponential gains. And this has that. All right. So right now, I don't know if it's the right time for me. Oh, didn't mean to draw that. I'm going to wait a bit here. I've seen this pattern on a few other charts where it shows like it's ready and then immediately tucks tail and ducks back to the 50 moving average. Isn't terrible. However, I really, really don't like that engulfing you see right there. That's called a bearish engulfing. Whenever you see something completely cover up a bullish candle plus some, that's bearish engulfing. Big red candle after a big green candle, which covers it up completely plus some. That's it. That typically shows me big sell volume, and I'm pretty sure that's what we see here. I think there may be more down or a back test of the trend line down here somewhere else. A lot of these low cap alts, I'm just not sure it's time yet. They're very volatile, and because they're very volatile, you got to walk softly. Someone asked me for Tezos, which is XTZ. Like I said, we'll try to go to all of these. So if you guys would, if you got something you want to have looked at, list it right there. Go hit like while you're at it, and we'll get to it. XTZ's got a similar pattern here to what I was saying about just a moment ago about others, about Doge, for instance. Support zone down here. It's kind of bouncing around on it right now. If it doesn't hold here, it could get messy, and there's not a heavy support till way down here. I like how it continues to try to hang on here and not just roll over and fail. No big red down yet. It could still happen, right? It could push all the way down in here into these lower candles. This is 786, 886 all through here. And this thing is super in the gutter, oversold, doing nothing, showing nothing. Just makes me think, hey man, gotta break sometime. Also, it is not 92, but 92.75% down from all-time high. A lot of these aren't going to sit around this long. They're going to move eventually. And because it's so far down, that gives me pause in saying, hey man, worry to death about how much more down. There's not a lot there left. Could be. I don't want to go crazy on buys, and that's why I haven't. These are one of these things that makes me want to buy, but I really want to see a breakout first. I want to see trends break out. Just break the red line and we can talk about it. It hasn't done it yet. It's just driving into that wedge, as you see, pushing price action sideways, driving into that wedge. I need to see some improvement there before I can commit. Make sense? Cool. We'll go ahead and look at Casper. I got it down here. All right. Same story as Tezos, right? I went ahead and bought this because I see support right through here. Seems to be holding so far. It came up off of that support. It has since rolled back over. Kind of sat back in between support and nothing. So kind of made me think it may want to try to break trend. It has not done so yet. I did get in a little too early here, didn't I? Exactly. Kind of catching a falling knife, didn't I? Exactly. That's why I only bought a quarter of what I was going to buy. I'm separating my buys up a little bit here so I can get as absolutely close to the bottom as I can without being perfect. I'm happy with close to the bottom. I don't have to get perfectly on the bottom. We made so much money last time getting close to the bottom. We didn't have to be perfect. And because we didn't have to be perfect, we did better than most. All right. We knew where to sell at the top the same way. We didn't have to get the perfect top. Just had to get close. A lot of us still sold at 64, 65, 66,000. Pretty damn close to the top. You know what I'm saying? Which is the point. Now, on the daily chart, you still don't have a buy signal. You're still under the trend. It's still showing no thank you everywhere. Kind of looks like it wants to fade back to this red box. And I do plan on buying in more here if it comes back down to support. That'll make my buy line somewhere down here, average, which is okay. This way I don't miss if I'm wrong and it goes up. And I'm not too wrong if it goes way down. I'll be right in through here, which is pretty darn close. Not quite there yet. I have my eye on this one. I think there's a lot of gains to be had. XDC, and then we'll do ICP. All right, XDC's got this same look that XRP and XLM have, where it shot this big green candle up, and then it's gone dead sideways and done this support march that other ones did. You see that? See that? Like a line of ants, just dead sideways, doing nothing. So, until this breaks and shows something on the upside here, gotta wait. If you pull up any indicator and look, it's kind of saying, hold on, you're under the 50, but over the 100, kind of stuck in the mud, okay? I do like the price action that came off here. Very nice. If I pull this like I would for the entire bull market, I'll flip the weekly here, and I'll zoom out just a bit, and then we'll pull this like we're going to show the entire bull market here, all the way to the end of 2025, okay? All the way to the end of 2025. will match our lows down here. And you can see this thing kind of reacted pretty darn well with that overall trend line. So we may march down and sideways here for a little bit. Once this trend breaks, whenever it breaks, whether it breaks here or it comes all the way back down here and breaks, one of the two will be our spot to say, hot dog is ready to rock. And I know it looks like I drew little sperms on the screen. That wasn't the intention. All right, ICP. Then we'll get to some more questions here. I'm sorry if I haven't got to you yet. I'm sorry. All right, ICP, bit of a falling knife. Yeah, I bought this a little too early. Yeah, I would agree. Took a chance on buying support here. It kind of failed, and the knife may continue to fall here. This is why I didn't buy too much. Again, I only bought 25% of what I bought so far. I like the fact that it was right down here in these fib reversal zones where I want to see them. My take profit fibs where we typically see reversals. It's sitting right on the 1414, 1272 line, bouncing back and forth here. It could take a dive to 1618. These fibs run out in a couple days. All right. Made me think, all right, might be time to think about going ahead and getting in. If I miss, that's fine. I only miss small. And that's why I went ahead and bought what I bought. You still don't have everything you need on the daily. I will say this, it's sitting in those fibs that we like to take chances on. That's why I took a chance on it. But I don't think it's fully ready, no. Just getting as close to the bottom as I can here. That's why I did it. All right. Yo, Brian W., $5, bro. Let's go. That calls for a drink. Thank you, sir. Any money that gets donated here on YouTube, we give away. We have given away tens of thousands of dollars, everybody. What's your favorite influencer done? I forget the exact number of how much we've given away, but it's pretty high. If you wonder what I'm drinking here, little drink break. I've got some Broken Barrel cask 116 proof straight bourbon whiskey. This stuff is top notch. I have a little pour. ASMR stuff for you. There you go. You probably couldn't see it, but I don't care. All right. $5. Thank you, Brian. You're the man. Oh, that's good stuff, dude. Oh, that's good stuff. Let's go. That just reinvigorates you and gets you going right there. All right. Tim McKellar, what's your thoughts on XTC? That's what I just looked at. I'm sorry. Jim Monroe says trash can. Love it. Best chart to buy currently, not financial advice. Best chart to buy, not financial advice. VET maybe? One of those? Nothing really jumps out at me and says, oh my God, this is absolutely going to go up. So, oh, Miss Beverly, good to see you. How you doing, ma'am? Miss you in the Discord. Anonymity, IMX. USDC. Windmill, it's great, bro. Gold, URNM. XAU and URNM. Kittens and Pups says looks and OP. OP. Gotcha. Adam VRA dot algo. Adam VRA dot algo. Name me a time when you were watching a YouTube stream and the guy on the other end said, just pick something and I'll chart it. Yeah. Didn't happen, did it? Exactly. TKO. Too much gravity to overcome. Needs a couple of weeks to green candles. I would kind of agree for the most part. Do you have any advice on how to trade super low cap token with very little price history? Yeah. When you have something that's extremely low cap, you're going to have to drop way down on lower time frames. You're going to have to be super active on it. And the problem with that is when you do that, the challenges that you run into are a lot of times this stuff is extremely high swap fees. So you don't really want to fool around with a whole lot of money because it's risky to begin with. And you got to put a lot in to cover the friggin' fees of what you're doing, which kind of sucks. So I would say for the most part, don't fool with any low cap stuff until the bull market comes. And then once you get into a low cap, a very low cap thing, and the bull market's going, well, we already know what's up. We're going to ride this until it dies. And we find that trend and there's no reason to hardcore stare at them as long as they're running great. You're gonna have to drop down the low time frames if you don't have very much chart history. That sucks, and that means you're gonna have to watch it closer, which means it's gonna burn through your time and frustrate you. I don't want that to happen, so be careful. Miss Beverly says donated $4,000 to help get water well, food, and clothing to the poor peoples. Absolutely, we did. I'm super tickled that we even did that. It's amazing, and I one day want to get out there to Lao and see those people. It's on Polygon locally. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're not getting this type of heat across the take a chance and take a chance on us. Yeah, well, see, that's up to everybody, right? Thoughts on strategy: 1,001 great chart or 1,004 good charts? Well, that's an easy one. 500 into 2 good charts or 4 $250 buys, in my opinion. I never ever go all in on one thing. That's a terrible idea, in my opinion. All right, let's get to some of these that people have asked for. IMX. IMX looks a little something like this. All right, you had a couple great days here. Big green candle, but I want you to understand that you have a whole lot of down behind it. So be careful. IMX USD. Let's find the oldest chart we can. All right, let's just be careful. Make sure we got the oldest chart. And we didn't have the oldest chart. Look, we have an older one. This one goes back to January 22. Let's go back farther than that. Let's have a look on CoinTrader, shall we? CoinTrader. And we'll pull up anything but what was trying to pull up. I'm not God, that's bright. I'm not pulling that up. IMX. We'll find a good IMX chart here. And it does look back all the way to 21, it looks like. Cool. So we can pull the fib on this and we can go all the way and look at our projections out through 2025 here. All right, scroll this back a bit. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 2025. So really this thing needs to break 80 cents. So now that I've got all the data, that's kind of what I wanted to see. And I know right around the all-time high was 950. So I can kind of copy that data over here. All right. Let's go 950. And then we'll pull this all the way out here. Same story here. All right. So 0.081 is the important barrier to break. Do you see how it respected that support and resistance right here? It's kind of resistance right now because it's under it. Got to break that first before it really, really moves the needle for me. This thing looks like, to me, it wants to come over here and just round off. Running into that resistance is a big deal, especially for low caps. So be very careful on this. I know it feels good right now because it moved real fast, and it may do that for a little bit longer, but walk softly. URNM. Uranium. ETF. All right. Yep. Still running from when we did the live stream last week. Quite impressive. It does have a CME gap right there. It created, looks like it created it after we did the live stream. That's crazy. So be careful here. Looks like it wants to fill that gap. And as long as it stays over the trend, I don't hate grabbing in here. If it fails right here, that's where I would get out because it's probably going to back test this big trend line. But uranium had a hell of a run here, didn't it? And it's still way up there and still above everything, screaming, don't run away just yet. Up to you. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. Just a dude on the internet trying to make it. All right. Looks. Continues to looks bad. Terrible dad joke. Jesus Christ. What am I doing? That was terrible. Y'all got to, you got to tell me not to do that dumb shit. All right. So about 10 cents is the heavy barrier here, kind of trucking along sideways, scraping the floor. Under the 50, the 100, the 820. Nah, I can't do it quite yet. It's close. But this thing looks like it's waiting for everything else. OP. We were talking about optimism in the Discord yesterday or the day before. So a couple things here stand out to me. I got this trend here that it hasn't broken yet. Plus I have this trend here that it may have broken short term. You could argue that maybe it's longer term trend and it hasn't broken either. The thing is, I want you to look at all the sell pressure that comes in after just a little bit of buy pressure, big sell pressure each time. Every little bit of buy pressure is met with heavy red. Green, 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 heavy red. Green, 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 heavy red. That's a lot of sell pressure pushing down that downtrend. This looks to me like it wants to come over here, somewhere down here at about $1.15, $1.12, maybe $1.10. We'll see. It may fail farther than that. You cannot deny that that's a head and shoulders playing out right there. Can't deny that. All right. Give it some time. It may fail. The good news is, well, I didn't mean to do that. The good news is it's still hanging on to that trend and hasn't failed it yet. Until that trend line fails, it may keep going. And I'll pull that trend line for you there now. Something like that. Let's get close. Something like that. That's close, dude. Whatever. Just driving itself into the triangle here. All right. I don't hate taking chances on trend lines. But, be careful. It's just not a bull market yet. And when I know it's a bull market, it's a little different, but we're not there yet. This one does look better than some. Adam, where you at? There it is. All right. I've already bought Adam a little bit here. The reason I bought it down here in 786, 886 Sniper's Alley down here, support zone. We had this zone marked out all the way back 9 to 10 months ago. I thought this zone may eventually happen, and it bounced really fast and messed with my head. Now it's came all the way back down to that same zone. That's why I bought it. I said I would buy it, and I did what I said I would do. It has since gotten over that $7 barrier, which was Sniper's Alley. Although it's thrown some really gnarly, ugly red candles here, it's on support now, not so much resistance. Let's see if it can hang on. Anywhere in this blue box, I'm okay with buying. I don't want to buy if it fails the blue box because there's better buy-ups lower. I'll sell if it fails the blue box, and I'll rebuy lower. If it continues to go up and breaks trend, well, that's my all go signal, and I'll be all in over here on what I'm going to buy for Atom, and I'll ride it to the top. I think there's good games in Atom. It's got a big ecosystem with a lot of money in it. VRA. Hey, guess what? Still sitting in this corner here doing nothing. It's incredible. Here's the entire chart zoomed all the way out. Same as Solana with this trend line running up like this. Could it fail? Yes, it could. And if it does, I will look to rebuy lower down here. Problem is, if this thing fails, it's going to take a forever amount of time to get going again, and that's fully possible. I will sell and rebuy down here. I'll take a couple dollars loss and buy in lower to get an even better price and make even more gains on the back end. Now, have a look at the Bollinger Bands here. Shut up, dude. They are screaming tight. Opened up a little bit, but now we've got a green candle. So watch this thing trickle around here and just think about it. So annoying. I will say this, it's got a lot of pressure pushing on it here. I do like it's a downward pressure pushing on it with this trend line. I do like the fact that it's kind of held on to this support zone through here. Maybe it bounces, maybe it doesn't. I went ahead and took a chance. I'm willing to eat a little bit of a loss if it fails. You got to be willing to take some risks, right? If you don't take a risk, you're never going to win anything, which is why I went ahead and bid on some of these. And again, I do think, it'll be Bitcoin and Ethereum that kind of go first, which is why I've saved a ton of money for that. And I didn't throw a ton of money at these alts. I only bought some. DOT, similar story as VRA, only a little farther down on the totem pole. However, all through here again, all through here is a support zone. I don't want to deny that. Can't deny that. All through this green box is support. And as such, we got to recognize that it may hold on to this box and not fail. I'm hopeful that it doesn't fail. I'm hopeful everything hangs on and turns the corner. Not a buy signal on the daily chart yet, though. Just it's on support, but again, that may fail. So if you're taking a chance here on support, you're taking a chance on catching the falling knife at the perfect time, which is what I did a little bit of, right? Not gonna lie about it. All right, Algorand. Jesus Christ. This has been one of the worst, dude. Finally showing a little bit of strength after absolutely getting obliterated all bear market. Look at this thing. It's done nothing all bear market. Nothing. So please just break the trend. If it breaks the trend, I know I'm titties and I don't have to worry about it, but it has not done that yet. It's still stuck in the mud. playing around down here, thinking about it, but it hasn't really moved like I want to see it do, which was get over this trend line here. And then once it gets over this trend line, we can talk about it. Hasn't done it. I'm excited for it because there's so many gains here. Kind of scraping the 2020 lows. Another reason I took a chance on it. That thing running the lows like that is a simple thing in Forex we see all the time. It's called sweeping the lows or sweeping the highs. And generally, a stop loss tries to take you out, which is what appears to have happened here. Stop losses will try to take you out, and then the thing reverses back on you and absolutely eats you alive. It happens all the time in the Forex world, and that's why I made the play I made on Algorand here. What's up, Paulo? Good to see you. The trend line is also the head and shoulders line, right? Kinda, yeah, you're right. Blame it on the whiskey, exactly. Keith, don't do that stuff. What's up, Eric Denim Logic? Good to see you, brother. Let's see. Schlet Survival says, will VRA probably stop to keep falling? 2 million token, keep getting poor. Thanks on your high quality content. Hey, you're welcome. I think there is a solid chance it goes down. Like I said a minute ago, VRA could go all the way back down to that low it made in 2022, at which I will sell and rebuy. If it breaks north here, I'm confirmed and I buy in the rest. I don't know how many tokens I have. I don't count tokens. I count dollars. And then however much more dollars I end up with is what I'm happy about. I don't care about the amount of tokens I have of anything. Thoughts on WSBC, not the WSM coin about the launch. By the way, glad I saw Ripple Van Winkle, top shelf brother. Hey brother, I'm glad to have you here. Thank you. WSBC. We'll look at that in a second here. AVAX. Yeah, we just looked at AVAX already. Fallen knife steel and still looks hella rough. Let's see if we can find this WSBC. We talking about this? WSBC, the stock? I think you're talking about the stock. If you are, what says West Banco, this looks like a bit of a fallen knife to me still. Trend down, everything down. There is a bit of a retrace going on right here. And because of this retrace, I would expect a little bit more down. Perhaps $23 to $21 based on the price action of this thing falling and not recovering very fast. Here you go. It's a little bit better fib drawing for you. Oh, never mind. It's already there. If I exclude this wick, because I'm not sure about that wick. It's about, I mean, it could reverse here at the same time as fallen knife. I hate to take a chance on things that I'm not positive about. I do like the support level right here. So anything down here, I would take a bite on. And if I lost, I lost. But that one kind of looks like it may be worth a poke when it comes down a little lower. Let's see. Comment on strong dollar and falling stock markets and PMs in relation to short-term crypto market. Very good question, Mr. Moulet. So here's the dollar index. Got this thing always on the right over here so I can look at it. This is interesting. Now, we're at a resistance level right here and where I drew this red line. This has gone way back. All right. So this resistance level hasn't failed since it hasn't. I mean, it's been holding since 2022, the end of the bull market. All right. Or December 22 is the end of the, it's still the bear market. So price action came down, kissed it, never made it to it, and now it's kissing it again, as you see. All right. We threw a really, really ugly red candle yesterday. Typically, when we see this much up in the dollar, we see down in crypto. Ours has been more sideways than down, but that's cool. I'm glad to see that. I want you to look back here. As the dollar index fell back here, see that? As the dollar index fell, it took a while before crypto really started moving, and that was the beginning of the year, if you remember. Beginning of 2023, which is all the way down here. The dollar fell this far before crypto moved. All right? Understand that this may happen again for crypto to move again. We may see a similar story. I'm not exactly sure how high the dollar gets up here because it's already pushing overbought on the daily chart. MACD is starting to roll over and slow up a little bit here, and this thing has been on a steady rip since July and has not failed. 2 months and some change straight up. How about that? The dollar doesn't do that often. We'll say this. Interest rates. The government came out yesterday during the FOMC meeting and said, next year we are cutting rates. We're not sure how much or how fast, but we will start cutting rates next year. They also said that there will be one or no more rate hikes for the remainder of this year. In the last couple months is what he said. They're only going to do one hike or none, which tells us that they are throwing out there that they are done raising rates. If they're done raising rates, then people will move away from bonds and into risk. And why would you move into bonds? Well, you move into bonds because the market is very risky. When the market is very risky and you don't want to take too much risk, but you still want to make some money, you buy T-bills, you buy other bonds, other things like that, ETFs that make you slow, steady money. When it's time to throw the risk on and you see interest rates going down, well, that's when we buy. Because everything's going to start going up at that point. Not everything, but a lot of stuff will start going up at that point. We haven't got there yet. And we may see a lull in price action here for when the dollar rolls over and Bitcoin gets moving. I'm hopeful that this happens sooner rather than later. I would like to see October and November be sideways or up and not down. If we see November be sideways and not down, that's a great sign to me, because that to me would signal that this thing doesn't want to fail support and she's ready to rock. I know everyone wants that lower price, and I get that, but the market doesn't care what we want. All right. I'm just reading what I see. I don't want anyone to take it personal. I have a couple questions over here. Yeah, Justin, is that what I just pulled up, that WBSC, the stock, or is it a token? And is it on an exchange or is it on a DEX? If you'll let me know, I'll look it up. I also count the dollars, but the dollars keep falling while the amount of coins stay the same. That's incorrect. The dollar's up from 99 points to 105 points in the last 2.5 months. That's the problem. You got to be careful who you listen to. Okay, be careful who you listen to. The amount of coins stays the same. If you have any idea of the future price, you have to multiply with your actual amount of coins. See, that's the thing. I don't do that, because then that makes a clouded judgment in your head and makes you think you got some different number than you actually do. At the end of the day, we have to convert this thing to dollars to make gains. We cannot buy anything with VRA. We can't buy anything with ICP. Can't. You have to spend money on that kind of stuff. And if you think you are, you're wrong. You're converting it to dollars right before they get it. And you think you're spending crypto, but you're not. At the end of the day, we have to go to cash to get our gains. It'll always be that way, everybody. Sorry. Hate to break the bad news to you. I don't want that. I don't want that. It's on a token on the DEX. Great. Let's pull that up real fast. It is WBSC. WSBC. I spelled it wrong. I'm sorry. WSBC. So it's about 4 months old. That's cool. Let's have a look here. All right. The first thing I see is a downtrend. What do I mean by downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. So we had a high and we had a low, and then we had a lower high because it wasn't as high as the first one. And we had an even low, then we had a lower high, then we had another even low, then we had a lower high, all downtrend. Now we have a lower low and a lower high. This is a 100% falling knife with no support down here to catch it. Until this improves, I would lean toward no thank you. You're at a $25,000 market cap right now. You have zero buy volume, $1,000 in sell volume. If we look at some recent transactions, I see nothing but red with a little sprinkle of green. This is a falling knife, in my opinion. I would definitely wait on this for me before I make any sudden decisions. There's also 5 issues with the contract over here. I don't like anything that charges me a tax to take my own money. Fuck that noise. Ownership renounced, no. That means they could still control all the supply, so be very careful. Hidden owner, yes. Hey, guess what? I'm out. No thank you right there. I'm not going to do it. Based on the fact that there's a hidden owner, no. If you're proud of your company and you create something that's worth anything, you're out front talking about how great it is. You don't hide behind a screen. Trading cool down, I don't like that. Don't tell me I can't buy and sell whenever I want. It's my money. All right. And has a whitelist. Also a big problem with me. I don't want to be on anything that has a whitelist, because I'm not special. You are not special. And we shouldn't have to have special treatment to gain money. When you do that kind of thing, you create this persona. You create this persona of specialty. And it's not a persona of specialty. It's a trick to bring in liquidity so they can sell on your ass when the time comes. And that's exactly what happened right here. It's classic. All right. If conditions are favorable in time-wise, we could take a quick look at Uni. Yep. And CFX. Uni, CFX. Uni. I don't want you to take anything personal either, Justin. I keep it 100% straight here. A lot of people don't like that, but also there's a lot of kids in this space who can't handle the truth. I'm always going to shoot straight with you. If it hurts people's feelings and no one watches, that's just part of the game, and I understand. I'll never be blockchain backer because I'm never always bullish like he is. I'll never be ICP or ICT. I'll never be ICT because I'm not going to sit here and tell you how great my stuff is. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm going to be as straight as I can with you. And if that's to the detriment of me, that's to the detriment of me. I'm sorry. I'm not going to. I have no problem with adaptation. I have a problem with shilling and stuff like that. I'm not cool with that. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it real or keep it to myself. That's just all there is to it. And I know that's going to hurt people's feelings. And I know it's not going to win me any favors with anybody, especially big communities, man. I get it. I'm on your team, though. I mean, I'll buy the tokens and shit. I'm here with you in the crypto space. I want to make money with you, not against you. I'm going to sell. I want everybody else to sell. I'm going to buy. I want everybody else to make money. So, don't get, I always say I'm just the messenger. I'm reading the chart and then saying what the chart says. I might be wrong sometimes. I'm more right than wrong. History shows that, or else I wouldn't be here. Uni. So Uni is going to be a no for me, but I do like the fact that it's sitting on the support zone just like everything else. It's weak support, so be careful. And by weak support, I mean there's not a lot of candles to catch it. But you do have support all through here, and that's a big range. I don't like the way it's slowly creeping toward the bottom and to the right like that. I zoomed way out so you can kind of see it, but I don't hate it. Scraping the lows like this, but I bet you this thing wick chases a little bit in here somewhere and burns us. CFX. And then we'll do near. I missed near. I'll get to it in a second. Now, bullish CEO. I'm sorry. Conflux. Hell of a run. This looks like render. Same kind of play where it looks like it's gone straight up off the 2022 lows. That's a little bit more data. Yeah, it's a little bit more data. You can see this thing failed the trend right over here at about 41 cents and is down about 75% since then. So again, this is one of those that's kind of doing that stair step walk down, but doesn't want to just outright fail and go away. So with these, until I see a trend break, I got to wait. I have to wait. This could get me in trouble with VRA, right? Because it's the same setup. That's why I haven't done this all over the place. I've been very careful and not going overboard. I need to see some more improvement on CFX as well, even though it's sitting on support like that. Near. All right. Pull this off. Same setup as the others. Bit of a fallen knife here, but what I did see was this thing trying to round off on the bottom here. Not having a ton more sell volume come in like that is good. I see a lot of inefficiencies up here and down here that I think could close up, meaning a retrace comes back to those areas at least. That's big gains. And on the downside of things, well, there is support all through here. So while it could fail and may, I will bail if I need to. And I only bought a portion of what I'm going to buy for this. I like the chances I took. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's not. Moving averages are kind of all pointing in the same direction. Again, I may have screwed up right here, but I only bought 25% of what I was going to buy because I want to be a little bit more careful and not overdo it. It's close. A lot of these are close, but close doesn't cut it most of the time. Yeah. All right. Talk like that is exactly why I'm here and sending everyone I meet. Thank you, brother. That's awesome. I love hearing it. There's just not many of us out here doing it like this. With you, not against you. Absolutely. Yeah. See what Win Mullet said right there. Keep your powder dry. Better opportunities ahead. I only bought in about 15 to 20%. I still got 80% stable coins. I'm ready to unload when the time comes. Y'all, I promise you, I want to buy stuff. I want to buy everything right now and be done with it. I just cannot commit to charts that don't look good. I can't. I'll take a couple chances here and there. I can't overcommit. I can't do it. Everybody's watching. And every single little mess up I have, people pounce on that shit. So I can't do it. Somebody else donated. Tim McKellar. My man. Sorry I missed it, bro. Salute, sir. Hey, Broken Barrel's great stuff, man. Whew. Just gets you pumped right up every time. Especially when it's good and cold like that. Gosh, I have these, by the way. I have a ball sack. This is my ball sack. I have these balls that go inside there. They're cold balls. This is a frozen cold metal ball. It goes in my ball sack. I keep these in the freezer. And then when I want to have a nice cool whiskey and talk charts, I break out the balls out of my ball sack and I put them in my glass. And I have a chilled glass with the metal ball in it. It's pretty awesome. It comes in this kit that the lady got me for Christmas one year. Pretty dope. You'll see me drinking out of it. I love it. Hey, whiskey companies out there, if you're watching. Do I use different stable coins? I'm mostly USDC, USDT. If you ask me, neither one of those are going anywhere. And everything you're hearing is people that are just crybabies who want it to go away and they can't do anything about it. And they're not going to go away. Doesn't matter how big of a scam something is if it's promoted by the big boys. Hey, everybody. Have you heard of Enron? Okay. So, yeah, Crypto Wolf's laughing. The head and shoulders pattern on OP matched up with the uptrend. Does that amplify things if the trend breaks? Absolutely. You tend to get a capitulation if you have an uptrend that breaks a head and shoulders. What a capitulation is high volume selling with no retrace back up. It'll go to the next support zone, wherever that next support zone may be. That is typical. And typically you get two rushes down, one rush down with no retrace. Then that pauses, you get a small retrace, and then you get one more rush down. That's usually max pain. All right. That doesn't always happen that way, but it's typical. And then when the bull market comes, we'll see all that flip upside down and we'll see inverse head and shoulders form. And we will be glad to call those out as they form. We ain't there yet, folks. We got 2 years of that coming up, but we ain't there yet. All right. I'm happy to say when we are, when I think we are. We just ain't there yet. All right. So Niners won. Of course, Niners won. Jesus freaking Christ. How many touchdowns did Brock Purdy have? Because I'm playing against him in fantasy. That SOB has an all-star team he plays on, man. I'm still pissed we got rid of Christian McCaffrey. To a damn all-star team. Deebo Samuel is from 4 miles away from me. Inman, South Carolina represent. All right. So, thank you all for watching. What's crazy is little by little, we get less and less people watching. 40 was the max we had on here. I don't even care. It's your loss if you're not here hanging out with us. Little by little, our YouTube views have gone down and down and down. I don't care. It's your loss for not showing up and hanging with people who just want to shoot straight with you and make as much money as possible. This isn't the kid channel. This isn't the Hopium channel. This is the 786 Assassins. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere until the end of this next bull run. Then I'm done. WAP.com/Team786 if you haven't done so. Right there's the link. Thank you all for watching. I'll leave you with this. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows, which is what I tried to do today. That's Jay-Z. And last but not least, you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that so much. Thank y'all. See y'all on the next live stream. Y'all be good. Zoom after this for the subs in this Discord. Y'all be good. Sky's the limit. Peace.